y'all, welcome back to another Teen Book Babble. I'm Haley, and today I'm going to be talking about Beyond the Clouds, The Girl Who Fell from the Sky, Volume 1 by Nikki. Beyond the Clouds is a fantasy story about a 16-year-old boy named Theo who dreams of dragons, stars, and adventure. He lives in Yellowtown, a place where you can't see the blue of the sky or the stars at night because of all the smog the town produces. Theo is an orphan who lost his parents at a young age and now lives at the same place he works as a mechanic. To cope with the loneliness he felt as a kid after his parents passed, he would read stories about magical places and people going on adventures, hoping that one day he could go on one too. One day, Theo goes to a place he calls the Island of Dreams, which is really just the town's local junkyard, to look for treasure. Except, instead of treasure, he finds a little girl with one wing. The spot where the other wing should be is covered in blood, and he realizes she must have lost it when she fell from the sky. Although dragons and stars can't be seen in Yellowtown, some people, like Theo's boss, are more animal than they are human. And some people are even born with wings. Those people are extremely rare, though, and their wings are really valuable. So rather than take the little girl to a hospital and risk her being taken away because of her wing, Theo takes her back to his work where his boss and his coworkers work together to help take care of her. When she wakes up, she tells Theo that her name is Mia, but that's all she can remember. She doesn't know where she came from, what happened to her other wing, what happened to her family, or even if she has a family somewhere. Theo decides that he's going to look after her and build her a new wing so she can fly again. Unfortunately, someone discovers Mia and her wings. I don't want to give away what happens, so let's just say Mia is so much more than just an amnesiac little girl, and Theo is about to get the adventure he always dreamed of. Beyond the Clouds seems like a pretty wholesome story so far. I haven't read the other volumes that are out yet, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here, especially because Volume 1 kind of ends in a cliffhanger. The art is this adorable steampunk style that feels a lot like a Final Fantasy video game, which is one of my favorite video game series, so I absolutely love it. The characters are really sweet and the story is interesting. I can't wait to read what happens next on Theo and Mia's next adventure. Beyond the Cloud, volumes 1 through 4 are available in print at Fountaindale.
Hello, fellow humans. I'm Alex, a teen specialist at Fountaindale. I'm a new face that's going to be talking about Wilder Girls by Rory Powers. Set in the not-so-distant future of Maine, we follow our main characters, Hetty, Byatt, and Reese, as their desolate boarding school is ravaged by a mysterious disease dubbed the Tox. The unknown infection has left everyone it hasn't yet killed morphed and disfigured, all except 2 adults. Now quarantined on the island by the government, the all-girls school of Raxter has only a note from the CDC telling them that a cure is being developed and to survive. Life until this point for Hetty has been just surviving and watching her classmates slowly succumb to the tox. That is until her friend Byatt goes missing, which forces her to go past the fence and break quarantine into a world that has been horribly disfigured by the tox. What I liked about the book. I absolutely love the air of suspense to be had while reading Wilder Girls. It's not entirely sure that anyone is going to make it through it all, even Byatt. There's so much to learn about all the girls living at the school. They all have very, very different personalities that clash with all the other girls, which at the point makes it so it's not only the tox that's really making those big rifts between people. It's the personalities of the girls. It's a deeply dark story, and I'm actually so impressed that the author can somehow wedge in a little bit of romance in here. You can find this strictly better version of Lord of the Flies at Fountaindale Public Library in either book or on Libby on audiobook.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Marshall. I am a teen services specialist here at Fountaindale Public Library District, and today I wanted to talk to you about a very special book. It is called Everything You Wanted to Know About Indians But Were Afraid to Ask by Anton Troyer. So this originally was published as an adult nonfiction book, but this is the young adult version. So this book is exactly what the title says. It answers any questions that you could possibly have about Native American people or Indigenous people, but were afraid to ask. So, for example, it could answer any questions such as why is it offensive to have a Native American mascot, or why is it offensive to dress up as a Native American person. So this book is very highly researched and it is very detailed. So because of that, you are pretty much guaranteed to learn something new while reading this book. For example, while reading this book, I learned that casinos can be very complex and very nuanced for Native American communities. So, for example, some casinos are very successful while others are not very successful. And it takes a very specific set of conditions in order for a casino to be successful and in order to actually help the communities that they are in. For example, the Hard Rock Casino down in Florida has been very successful. And because of that, it has helped the Seminole people eliminate all poverty for their enrolled citizens. So that's a really interesting thing that I learned. I also really love this book because of how personal it is. So Anton Troyer is a member of the Ojibwe community, and because of that, he talks a lot about how he was raised as an Ojibwe person and how he raises his 9 children as well. Finally, I really love this book because it's pretty accessible. So, for example, this entire book is organized not only by categories, but also by questions as well. So if you had specific questions that you wanted to know, then you can go just to that section and read that section. You don't necessarily have to read the beginning in order to understand the middle or the end, which I thought was great. So if you wanted to check out this book, you can find it in our nonfiction section, in our young adult section. You can also find it as an e-audiobook on Hoopla and an ebook on Libby. So thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.